Have you ever stopped to think that the everyday objects all around you might be holding epic stories? Well, today we're diving into the incredible artistic traditions of the Philippines to see just how crafts can be a powerful form of storytelling. And let's kick things off with a question that gets right to the heart of it.
It sounds a little strange, doesn't it? But stick with me. We're about to see how art in all its forms is so much more than just decoration. You'll see its communication, its history, its identity, all woven or carved into something you can actually touch.
So to really see this in action, we're going to zoom in on a specific community whose art tells some absolutely fascinating stories. Let's head to the island of Mindanao.
Okay, here's the quick rundown on the Bagobo people. They're from the Davao region, and they are masters of their craft. I mean, they're famous for their unbelievably detailed metalworks, but their skill with weaving abaca cloth and creating baskets is just as important to who they are.
And just look at this. Their traditional clothing is a total feast for the eyes. We're talking vibrant earth tones, reds and yellows, all brought to life with beads, feathers, and these stunning geometric patterns. It's not just clothes, it's a living, breathing work of art.
All right, so to really appreciate these different crafts, it helps to have a simple way to think about them. And honestly, it all comes down to the difference between two-dimensional and three-dimensional art. This one little distinction makes everything click. Let's break this down real quick. A 2D artwork is flat. It's got width and height. That's it. Think of a drawing on paper. You just view it from the front. But 3D art, well, that's got thickness. It has width, height, and depth, like a sculpture. You can walk all the way around it. Got it? Okay, now let's use this to look at some real-world examples.
All right, let's start with the world of 2D. We're going to check out some amazing pieces of flat art that carry a ton of cultural weight.
First up is the Dagmay cloth. This is a traditional textile woven by the Mandaya people, who are another distinct cultural community from Mindanao. And since it's a flat piece of woven cloth, it is a perfect example of two-dimensional art.
And this is where it gets so cool. This is not just some piece of fabric. It's woven from the super durable abaca fiber, and its patterns, well, they tell the epic story of a Mandaya warrior. Just think about that for a second. It's considered the woven version of a chanted epic poem. So that question we asked at the very beginning, here's your answer. A piece of cloth can literally be a poem. Now let's switch gears to another example, one you might actually find in many Filipino homes, the banig. This is a hand-woven mat, and yep, another classic example of 2D art.
The banig is usually made from dried tikog leaves, and it's used for sleeping or sitting. What's so beautiful about this, I think, is that it's functional art. It's a perfect reminder that incredible artistry doesn't have to be locked away in a museum. It can be right there with us, part of our daily lives.
Okay, so we've seen the power of flat art. Now, let's add a dimension. Let's jump into the world of 3D art. Art that has a physical presence you can feel and see from every single angle.
Our first example is the absolutely iconic Bulul. This is a powerful wooden sculpture created by the Ifugao people up in the mountains of northern Luzon. And as a carved figure you can walk around, it is pure 3D.
But a bulul is so much more than a sculpture. It actually represents an Ifugao deity and is given a sacred job. These figures are placed in rice granaries to act as guardians, watching over the harvest to make sure the community has plenty of food. This isn't just art. It's a protector.
Now let's go from something monumental to something you can hold right in your hand. We're talking about tribal carvings, specifically these anthropomorphic or human-shaped utensils.
I mean, look at these antique Ifugao spoons and forks. They're the perfect marriage of artistic form and everyday function. They're carved from wood, and they bring this sacred, human-like shape into the simple act of eating. It's that same theme again: spirituality, art, and daily life, all rolled into one single object.
So, let's step back. We've seen 2D cloths that tell epic poems, and 3D sculptures that guard the harvest. It's pretty obvious these aren't just pretty objects, right? There's something much deeper going on here.
When it comes right down to it, this is the key. Whether we're talking about a flat Baniga mat or a three-dimensional Bulul statue, these creations are vessels for an entire culture. They are stories you can touch, guardians you can see, and the very identity of a community made real.
And that brings it all back to you. I want you to take these ideas, 2D and 3D, and just look around your own space. What artistic treasures are hiding in plain sight right there in your home?
No, seriously, think about it. That painting on your wall, that's 2D. A simple woven placemat, also 2D. But what about that clay pot in the corner or a little wooden sculpture on a shelf? Boom, those are 3D. Art is all around you, telling its own quiet story.
So, as we wrap this up, let me just leave you with one final thought to carry with you.
The next time you look at a woven blanket, a ceramic mug, or even a carved chair, don't just see an object. Ask yourself, what story is it telling? Because as we've learned from the incredible artisans of the Philippines, every single object has the potential to be a whole universe of meaning.